We're here with head coach Jack Owens after an 85-79 victory over Purdue Fort Wayne. Coach, your opening statement.
Well, I thought our guys just found the way to win. Obviously, losing the lead in the second half and battling back and getting the W was huge. But a lot of guys contribute. Nike got it going in the second half, and Bam made some big plays. Ringo did a good job finding some guys. The one thing is that we got to do a better job at the free throw line. You know, a week ago we were the number one free throw shooting team in our league, and now we're not that. I'm pretty sure going 10 for 19 tonight. But overall, happy with the result because of finals week and everything else. A lot of guys' minds are on papers and, you know, exams and things like that. But we will take a few days off to get ready for that, and then we have Northern Kentucky at the end of next week.
Open up for questions.
You have to be happy with the win, especially after getting rebounded pretty soundly, actually.
Yeah.
How were you guys able to overcome that, and how disturbing is that?
Well, it is the one thing that stand out. We've done a great job rebounding the basketball ever since Xavier, and we didn't do a good job today. They got some second chance opportunities, and you know the way they play, they space you out. You got to come up with loose balls and long rebounds, and we didn't do that. And we're just happy with the win, just the way the guys were able to gut it out and find a way to win the game.
I sort of asked Ringo this. I'll get your perspective on it. But playing a team like this who can really push the ball up the floor and yet runs a extremely fluid offense with a lot of movement, what kind of a test was that for you guys? In that respect, was it testing you more than some of the other games this season?
Yeah, just because and I got to go back and watch the film, and because we're a different team than last year. From a defensive standpoint, I changed what we do against a team like this because how they play. Okay, they want to shoot threes and space you out, but what they did that was smart on their behalf, they didn't shoot as many threes as they normally do today because they want to sink you in and make you help on their indirect guys and shoot threes and then bust you on closeouts. So the one thing we did was we took away the threes. Okay, and the result of that, they made 6 threes, and I guarantee you it's the least amount of threes they made all year. So on one hand, you know, we did what we were supposed to do, defending the three, but on the other part of that, we were able to, we allowed them to break us down with dribble penetration.
What did you tell your team in the locker room after the game?
I was proud of them. I told them we had some guys like Nike's playing with a heavy heart. He's got a family member who's not doing well. Didn't know if he was going to play today, and just proud of them. You know, they found the way. This is obviously finals week. I got guys who's got 15-page papers due, exams, and everything else that they're going through, and I'm just proud of them. You know, it wasn't pretty. Wish we'd have made the free throws at the end to make it a smoother ending. But at the end of the day, Purdue Fort Wayne, they're a solid team. You know, they stretch you out and make you play a certain way. I wish we would have done a better job offensively in the first half when we had that lead instead of settling for those quick threes. And that's where we got to get better at offensively because it puts you in a bind defensively. When you take a quick shot out of rhythm, you're going back down defending their stuff even though you have a lead. You go being up 9, 11 points to being up 2 points just like that because they have the capability of making shots and making plays. But we have to continue to grow and don't settle for those threes because that's the immature thing to do. When you're somewhat open or you feel like you can get a quick shot off and it doesn't go in, they're going back down and they're scoring the basketball. But it was hard to argue because we were 10 for 19 the first half from three. I know one of you guys asked me last week, how you feel about your team shooting threes. I want them shooting all their rhythm threes, to be honest with you, the good players that can make those. And I have a lot of guys in that locker room that can make rhythm threes, but we cannot settle and just take bad shot after bad shot. And that's where we got to grow. But I told my guys I'm proud of them. We beat another quality team that's going to help us for conference play. And a lot of guys are contributing. You know, like I said, we got to make our free throws. We got to do a better job keeping the ball at the middle. But I'm happy with the win, obviously.
About halfway through the second half, there was a point where the game's still super tight and it's just escalating in intensity. You called Ringo over and you were talking to him one-on-one. What did you tell him?
I can't tell you that. No, I just told him to settle down. Just trust his instincts. He's one of the best passing guards in the country. But at the same time, they bottled him up a little bit. with their downing in the middle of the court and on the wing. We should have done a better job changing our screening angles and slipping out of things to give him lanes and get to the rim. But, no, I'm just proud of the way he was able to finish the game as well. He missed some bunnies around the rim, but he's a competitor. What he brings on the defensive end really helps our team.
How much did it affect you offensively or defensively when Bam had to sit out for extended periods? I know when he came in the second half and he drained a couple of threes there, it's a little surprising to see him to be able to come back out there somewhat cold and make those at a clutch time.
He's playing at a high level, in my opinion. And a lot of times you base that off on shooting or scoring or this and that. But what he's doing defensively, the composure he brings to our team, the way he's able to score on the block and do the things he does. But like you said, to keep your mind in the game when you're not you haven't had the basketball, you haven't been in any kind of rhythm because of the foul trouble, to come in and stick those threes, it's just a testament to, him being focused and doing what he's been doing the last 2 weeks. I just think he's getting to being almost 100%, to be honest with you.
Was there anything that adjustments you tried to make on Concho at all? The guy's got such a diversified game that I imagine it's kind of hard to do anything specific on him.
Yeah. The one difference that we did this year that we didn't do last year, we put Delonte on him in the second half, and Tay with his length was able to keep him off the glass a little bit more. But this year I just felt like he's been too aggressive. He's been too aggressive from the start to put Tay on him. So I kept a guard on him, and I thought Nike, when we slid him over, he did a great job on him. He did a great job on him.
Is Maravich a fair comparison to Concho?
Say that again.
Is Pete Maravich a fair comparison to Concho?
I don't know who to compare him to. The one thing he does, though, to answer your question, he rebounds the basketball at a high level from the guard spot. But he also handles the basketball and make plays for them in a lot of areas. And what they do, they slip out a lot of ball screens, and he's able to drive and work downhill. And he has the size to go and score. Where last year, he didn't do a lot of that against us. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But this year, he's playing at a high level. They lost Bryson Scott, who averaged 20-some points last year, and he's called to score more points and be more aggressive. And he's just a good player. He's a really good player.
Any more questions? All right. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, guys.